Get ready for a world of fun, friendship, and discovery. Andy Kids TV brings you amazing stories.
The small village awakens, bustling with life as villagers begin their day under a soft morning light. Birds chirp melodically, creating a peaceful symphony that drifts over the quaint, sun-drenched village. On a hill of tall grass, little Liam watches over a herd of sheep. His daily job is to take the sheep to the pasture so they can eat their fill and then bring them back to the farm in the village. The sheep graze peacefully, oblivious to Liam's restless gaze as he dreams of adventures beyond the hills. Quiet scene, sheep grazing leisurely. With no one to play with or any fun games, Liam wanted to do something to relieve boredom. In the distance, the village where Liam and his family live, a peaceful village nestled in a valley, green meadows stretching endlessly under the clear blue sky. Day after day, the sheep graze peacefully, their gentle cries filling the air. As a naughty boy, having to sit all day looking after sheep is not a very enjoyable task. Liam was sitting under a tree to avoid the sun, his face full of boredom. Liam hates feeling bored. He began to come up with the idea of doing something to have fun. Liam ran into the street. He saw a small stick on the ground and bent down to pick it up. Liam imagined what he would do with this little stick. The hillside became his stage. Liam felt so happy he ran around swinging the stick in his hand. But then the little stick did not make him happy for long. He seemed to be thinking of a new game. A smirk appeared on Liam's face as he looked towards the village. Liam then raised his arms, preparing to speak. Wolf! The wolf came to eat the sheep. It seemed like the villagers had not heard his voice. Liam immediately cupped his hand around his mouth to amplify his voice. Wolf! Wolf! Has wolf to the villagers. It seemed that Liam knew the villagers had heard him scream. He then ran closer to the village and continued shouting. On the large grassland next to a flock of sheep grazing, Liam pretended to scream and call the villagers to come. Wolf! Wolf! There's a wolf! Liam cried loudly, screaming in a desperate attempt to warn the villagers as the wolf appeared to attack people and sheep. Liam chased the sheep, causing the sheep to run around in panic. Liam acted like he was afraid of a wolf attack, fear showing on his face. Liam sat down, as if he was hiding from the wolf's sight. Mrs. Hart's determined gaze leads the charge, a pitchfork clutched tight. Mr. Dane's weathered hands grip a shovel, his face grim with resolve. The villagers, holding their breath and worried that a wolf was attacking the sheep, ran up the hill to Liam's cry for help, a strong wind blocking their hasty steps. Uncle Sam asked Liam where the wolf was, which direction he ran, why was there no sign of the wolf? And the flock of sheep was still peaceful and no sheep was lost. The villagers gasped and counted each of their sheep. They hugged their sheep tightly to prevent it from running around, worry clearly visible in their eyes. The fear of being attacked by a wolf was evident on every villager's face, reflecting terror, but they still moved forward in search of the wolf. The villagers were extremely angry when they learned they had been tricked by a boy. They returned to the village together in an unhappy mood. There were actually no wolves attacking the sheep. Liam threw his head back, laughter resounding with joy after fooling the entire village into panic. The sunlight shining on the hillside echoed Liam's laughter. His eyes sparkle with mirth, reflecting the boundless freedom of the open landscape. His laughter dances on the wind, carrying with it the lightness of heart and spirit out anymore. Dear villagers, at that time, I saw a wolf with gray fur and sharp teeth rushing out from the forest. A wolf has appeared, Liam announced, his words echoing in the silent room. Liam said, At that time, I shouted loudly and used my stick to scare the wolf and called for the villagers. Maybe the wolf got scared and left. His eyes sparkled with excitement, observing the faces. Liam also told this story to Mrs. Hart, but it seemed that she did not really believe what Liam told. Liam left doubt in the hearts of the villagers, and especially Mrs. Hart. Under the blazing sun, the villagers continued to do their daily chores, their faces clearly marked with impatience and fatigue. They don't want to be fooled by children's nonsense. Dust swirls around their worn sandals as they shift restlessly, the silence punctuated by their discontent. Annoyed glances dart between them, unspoken frustrations hanging heavy in the air. The hillside where the villagers work and graze their sheep every day. The villagers now feel insecure because every day they hear false warnings about wolves, making them feel uneasy. Mr. Dane stands among them, seemingly oblivious to the growing tension, his silence fueling their agitation. As dusk settles on the hillside, a faint rustling sound stirs the tranquil air. Nervous bleating rises from the flock as the sheep huddle together. Liam returned to his daily work of herding sheep. At this moment, Liam seemed to see the silhouette of a strange animal. He was on high alert. Liam used binoculars to see more clearly. He scanned the hills and forests with his binoculars, looking for any suspicious movement that had just appeared. The sheep also seemed to detect the appearance of a strange animal. The sheep's anxiety is increasing. That evening, Liam decided to find out if there was any danger. Liam's unease deepened as the darkness lengthened. Liam, disoriented, scans his surroundings, his face etched with confusion. Liam tries to explain and convince the villagers to believe his lie. Liam's eyes roamed around his companions, searching their faces for answers. But it seemed like no one around him believed his words were true. A feeling of insecurity filled the air as Liam tried to explain and convince everyone. "Hey guys, why doesn't anyone believe me? The story of wolves appearing at the edge of the forest is true. What's up?" Liam's voice cracked with a hint of desperation. A new day begins. Liam continues to graze sheep on the grassland. On the hillside, the wind rustled through the trees, carrying the smell of damp earth and the distant bleating of sheep. But this time, something was different. From the dark trees, a wolf with real gray fur appeared, eyes sparkling with hunger and hunting. A menacing growl rumbles from the wolf's throat, a sound that chills the very air. The wolf's bloodthirsty eyes were fixed on the sheep. The sheep are really facing approaching danger. Meanwhile, the sheep were still grazing leisurely. Unaware of the impending danger, Liam saw that the wolf had actually appeared. He stood there blankly, paralyzed with fear. "Oh no, it can't be!" He choked out a scream, but his voice was so muffled by fear that... "Wolf! Wolf! There's a wolf!" Liam cries, the words torn from his throat in a desperate attempt to warn or ward off. Liam hurriedly ran towards the tall trees, hoping to find a way to escape the wolf pursuit. He tried his best to scream each time, hoping the villagers would hear the wolf. Luckily, he was able to climb a high tree branch to escape from the wolf's claws. Even though the villagers had weapons in their hands, they remained motionless because they thought it was a false alarm and just a child's trick. And probably no wolf appeared. No one came to help, while the boy screamed until his voice was lost. Sitting on a tree branch, the boy was scared and watched the sheep being eaten by the wolf. Liam was so scared when he saw the sheep, he grazed every day being slaughtered and taken away by wolves. Liam is very regretful that he lied. So now when the wolf really comes, no one in the village will come to rescue Liam and the sheep. Liam learned a lesson from now on to never lie, because lying will lose everyone's trust. When you tell the truth, no one will believe you anymore. His laughter dances on the wind, carrying with it the lightness of heart and spirit.